Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I have put an absurd amount of hours into Battlefield 6 already, playing it a little bit pre-release and then playing obviously a ton once it was globally launched. I am having such a blast on this game. I said this back during the beta, but I can't remember the last time. It might have been Modern Warfare 2019 when that game launched and when Warzone launched that I was wanting to play a game this much day in and day out. Like, I didn't want to sit here and have to edit videos or work on thumbnails. Like, I just want to get back in and keep playing this game, keep leveling up, trying out new guns and getting better at it. I am having a blast. That said, I wanted to go through today and break down my honest overall thoughts on the game, what I do really enjoy, and there's a lot of that, and then also what I think the game could improve on quite a bit, because there are some areas of concern. This game is far from flawless, and I think it could reach new heights even if they continue to update, change, and adjust things as they already have here pretty early on into launch. So first up here, we're going to start with the good takeaways, my positive takeaways for Battlefield 6. First up, just the general gameplay here I think feels fantastic. There are some pros and some cons with how guns function and how certain things interact, but as far as the gameplay itself feels, when you are getting into gunfights, you're playing around on different maps, different modes, the game just feels alive, it feels immersive, and I think that is attributed to a bunch of different things. Just the time and the passion that went into making this game, the visuals, the audio, the destruction, all of it stacked together here just creates a very real experience that I think is very unique and very fresh, a real return to form here for Battlefield that I truly do enjoy quite a bit. The maps, while we don't have a ton of them, luckily we are getting some new ones here soon with season 1 to stack into the rotation here. Quite a few throughout the end of October, November, December there as well. I really do enjoy all the maps. There's some that I prefer on some modes versus others. Like if I really want to go all out on sniping, I'm much more looking forward to playing on Firestorm or Myrick Valley as opposed to, some domination maps or some King of the Hill maps, right? But I think there's some good variety in these. I think there definitely needs to be more large scale maps that are really like classic Battlefield stuff, but I think there's good variety of big map gameplay, very long distance fights, a lot of hectic close quarters stuff, again depending on the modes, like Breakthrough on New Sobek City or whatever it is, right? Absolutely insane, because you could rock a shotgun for half the match and then pull out a sniper and be successful in both situations there and adjust as the game goes on. Really fun diversity in gameplay from map to map there. I also love the fact that there's just a ton to do in this game. That partially is attributed to leveling being kind of slow, but there's a lot of grinds. If you want to go through and max rank guns, that'll take you plenty of time. You can really get used to things, adjust your setups a ton. There's a lot of different attachments and builds you could use. The camo grinds that are available here, fantastic as well. The actual assignments and the progression across things there. This is not a game that you're going to play for 2 weeks, have everything maxed out, and you're done for the next 4 years. This is a game that I think they really intentionally made with long-term grinds that would keep players on for a very long time. Now, again, I think there's pros and cons here depending on your ability to play the game for a certain amount of time. If you're a very casual player who doesn't have a ton of free time, I could absolutely see how this would be a negative for you. For me, for someone who wants things to come back to and wants a lot to do in game, sort of like a checklist there, I really do enjoy the grinds that this game has added, and I think there's going to be obviously even more over time as we see new modes added in, new weapons, new things of that nature as the seasons come around. That'll be really exciting as well. This is another thing that really stood out to me. Granted, I have a really good setup here for everything that I game on when it comes to my PC, my equipment, everything like that, that I'm very grateful, very blessed to have because of the position that you guys have put me in. But this game is insanely well optimized. I'm used to having good frames on games because this PC is overkill. It's got a 9950X 3D, a 5090 in it. Like, it goes crazy as is. But in most games, even when I'm still running like maxed out graphics, I'm noticing some frame dips here and there. It's not exactly flawless. Like, if I want to have the best, absolute most competitive experience, no frame drops, whatever, I got to be running a lot on low, medium. Like, the game's going to look a little bit more ugly. Not this game. This game seems insanely well optimized. And this is something the devs talked about a lot pre-launch, about how they really dedicated optimizing console first, and that ended up benefiting their PC optimization a ton. And I feel that for sure. I can have crazy good looking graphics and hold really consistent frame rates, and that's phenomenal to me. So the optimization is fantastic. And then my last main pro takeaway, because I do want to spend more time focusing on what I think could be improved or my negative takeaways, just to have the overall constructive criticism as the main focus here. Portal. I think this is going to offer endless possibilities. I mean, you guys saw maybe I was playing Shipment the first day the game was out. We posted a video on that, and it seemed like you guys really enjoyed that that style of content. It's like, this is absurd. You have places where you can train your piloting skills and fly jets around in a less stressful scenario. You're not trying to spam to get the one jet that's spawning in on the map, right? You have all sorts of ridiculous fun and out there or consistent experiences in the portal that is phenomenal. And I think that's going to offer so much for this game long term. That's a massive win in my opinion, and maybe the biggest takeaway for all of what this game is how involved the community can be, which is just a huge W. Now let's shift over to my negative takeaways, what I don't love about Battlefield 6 so far. And keep in mind, as we are going through everything here, if you guys enjoy the video, you agree with the points that I'm bringing up here, you want to help share it around and get more eyes on it, so hopefully we can have that positive impact on the game. Do me a favor, drop a like. It's always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, which I know a lot of you are checking out the Battlefield content for the first time, I always got you covered with everything you need to know for Battlefield content, whether it's new updates, tips and tricks in game, best weapons and setups to be using. It's all here, so feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and help get us one step closer to hitting 1 million. So for my initial negative takeaways here, I want to start out with the progression line. As I just mentioned in my positives and my pros, there's so much to do in this game. You can max weapons out for a while, going after camos, going after attachments, things of that nature. But I don't think it's the easiest to figure out what you're doing in terms of plotting a course, plotting a path of what you want to level, right? Like, I want to be able to see, okay, the max level for this rifle is 46, but really if I just want the main stuff, I only have to worry about getting it to 40. Instead, I got to sort through all the different attachment categories and say, okay, that's good. I get that at 39. Oh wait, no, I get this at 41. Oh, but this is at 44. So I got to go all the way up to that. And like, it's just not super easy to figure out how much there is to things without that true progression line. I really wish there was that individualized for weapons, individualized for your overall career as well, so you can see at rank 50 you're unlocking this, at rank 100 you'll get this stuff, so on and so forth, right? So an actual progression line just as a feature I think would be really useful in terms of streamlining the menu system, which I'll talk about in a little bit as well, and I think that could really just be helpful for all players, good, bad, average, whatever the case is there. Just makes life a little bit easier. Another negative, the weapon leveling as it stands. Again, as I mentioned in the pros, this is not a game that's intended to be beat entirely in a month. Like in Call of Duty, I have every gun maxed out. I've got the max camos in 3 weeks because I put so much time into them, and I don't really have to do anything for the rest of the year, which is to my own fault, but it does make the game a little bit more boring for players who avidly go after and adamantly go after the grinds very early on. This is not that type of game. There will be a lot to do for a long time. At the same time though, this is a game that appeals heavily to a casual audience, to players that don't have hours and hours and hours every day or even every week to put into maxing out a gun to get a really good attachment or to try and get some of the cool camos and whatnot. The weapon leveling is painfully slow. I really liked where it was in the beta. It's really rough now, and for players who aren't getting a ton of kills, maybe they're playing the objective a little bit more, or maybe they're still getting used to how this game functions. It means they're going to be stuck with weapons that aren't optimized, that don't really have many good attachments for a while, and I think that's going to limit their experience pretty heavily, and so I am really worried about that. And it does seem like this is something the devs are actively tuned into and likely will be adjusting this as time goes on, maybe even by the time this video goes out. I've got no idea what day I'm posting this because I have a billion different videos I need to upload, and YouTube only gives me 3 notifications a day, right? So it's definitely something I'm keeping an eye on, and I hope will be slightly adjusted. Speaking of things that are overly convoluted and a little bit annoying, the settings menu. There's so much. Yeah, I feel like you guys saw the settings video. It's one of my best videos of the entire year. It might actually be my best video of the year, which I really appreciate you guys for all the love on that. But that was a 20-minute video, and that was me speed running it because we had already the basis of the beta where we knew what settings worked in some cases, so I could get through it a little bit quicker. Going one by one in the settings menu would take 40 minutes to get things right. It almost did when I was first setting things up. Like, you need a PhD to figure out everything. It's way too convoluted. It's just not good. I don't really know how they make it better because there are so many good settings in this game that they need to go through and have available so you can really customize your experience. But man, it's really extra, I think is the way to put it, right? Like, it's a little bit overwhelming, especially as like a casual player. I could see how you go in that and you're like, I don't know what any of this means. You'd have to go watch my settings video maybe where I can walk you through some stuff. Another thing that I haven't loved so far, I play hybrid when it comes to Battlefield, right? Which means I go back and forth a ton between keyboard and mouse and controller. Now, for Battlefield, I personally prefer keyboard and mouse, and that's typically what I've always played on for Battlefield, even though I'm not that great at keys. But controller this year, while I can do okay with it, just still feels off, and it felt a little bit off in the beta. It just didn't feel smooth all the time. It's really hard to fine-tune sensitivities for a controller between it feeling way too snappy and way too flicky and way too floaty and not responsive. This, I guess, sort of ties into the settings being so convoluted, but even as you're adjusting things, the controller sense and controller input does just feel a little bit off, and it's hard to pinpoint why exactly it feels so off. But I'm always just, when I am using controller, wondering, do I need to adjust this more? Do I need to adjust that more? You know, as I do this, well, okay, it feels better for that gunfight, but then the next game I'm feeling off again. Controller just doesn't feel fully optimized here in general. And it's sort of piggybacking off of that, another thing that I'm not a huge fan of so far, just because it seems kind of buggy, is the keybinds in this game. They feel kind of finicky, kind of off. I've changed my keybinds for a bunch of different things, and at times it doesn't seem like things save correctly, or because I'm overriding things that do various different inputs on vehicles versus infantry versus whatever, they don't always function as intended. Sometimes it feels like I'm trying to ping something and it's not pinging, or I want to do something in game and the keybind seems kind of delayed or off. They just seem like they're, again, not fully optimized, not fully fine-tuned there, which absolutely is something that could be fixed or adjusted over time. Not too worried or not too concerned about that one, but it is something that stood out as a negative for me initially here. Another thing that I found myself constantly looking like an idiot for in game, trying to mantle things that I absolutely should be able to mantle in game. This is always my rule of thumb, not just you know, in Battlefield, but in all games. In real life, if I could do something that my character could not do, which, keep in mind, I mean, I work out a lot, I'm decently athletic, but I'm not like combat soldier trained by any means. If I feel like I could jump over a wall in real life, I think my character should be able to do it in game. And there are times where, man, I can jump over a wall and I can see and I can peek around, and as I'm spamming a jump, easily see over, but I can't mantle it for some reason. And I feel like I could do that a lot more in the beta. I don't know if they changed something for launch, but like the mantle heights and the consistency of what I can or cannot mantle seems very inconsistent and really obnoxious. And like I said, it leads to me looking very stupid in game, where I'm just sitting there spamming a jump up and down because I'm trying to get over a wall, and then I don't. I have to go and take the long way around, right? Or I have to put down my ladder on assault and walk over a wall that I feel like I should absolutely be able to get over, or an edge that I should be able to get over there. So the mantle heights, I feel like, need some work, mainly for my dignity. Please, Battlefield, if you're out there listening. Another thing that I think could be refined a little bit is the portal search and the availability options there, specifically when it comes to persistent lobbies and like the true server browser feel. This is something that, again, has been a main topic since they ever announced the server browser and the portal option and the custom search, is the ability to easily find things. I've already had situations where I'm trying to custom search and I just want to play one mode on one map, and it cues me into that mode on a completely different map. Again, this is something the devs seem like they are tuned into and well aware of and working on, but it is something that I found a little bit obnoxious. Like, I'm trying to just queue for Manhattan, or I'm trying to just queue for this other map, right? And then it throws me into something I'm not looking to play because I'm not using guns for that map, or I'm not looking for that play style right now. And it's like, okay, well, now I got to back out and try it again and hope that it works. So I think the portal search, the custom search, criteria could be refined a little bit as well. Another thing that I'm not just a huge fan of so far, I get blinded a lot in this game just by the lens flares. And this is something I've seen you guys comment about a ton already as well on all the videos, is, when you're looking out of a window, can you see, if you look to this direction on this map, can you see? And I think the universal answer in a lot of these situations is no. There are some insane lens flares in this game. I've messed with my brightness, turning off and turning on various different settings, lowering qualities, and there are just certain instances where the lighting in this game is out of control bright and you just can't see what's going on. There is, I guess, a realism aspect to that, but also, what if I had sunglasses on and I could just see, right? So it definitely, I think, needs some work. Again, just tuning things. The sun might need to be nerfed a little bit on some maps and at some angles for sure. And then the last thing I want to bring up here, just as another negative that I don't love, and I sort of alluded to this back at the start, is the menus. You know, there's no progression line, so I can't see that easy. I don't like this Hulu menu era that we're in like all games right now. They're just ugly menus. I didn't like them in the beta. They didn't change very much. I don't like the menus now. They're just kind of annoying to navigate at times. Not a game-breaking thing by any means. It's just a little bit obnoxious, and it's something that is extra that I don't think is necessary by any means. Like vertical menus, classic stuff like that, straightforward, easy to navigate. These ones are just annoying. I think that's the easiest way to put it, right? But like I said at the start, for the most part, I am loving this game. I have my, quarrels with it here and there, but for the most part, a blast is what I'm having. I'm very much so looking forward to seeing some of the updates in seasons where we get new content, new offerings there, the battle royale soon to come, and just see the game evolve even more, because I feel like this game is largely very polished. You can tell it was a multi-year project with a lot of passion, and I'm really excited to see it evolve and get better and better and better, ideally, as time goes on. And it seems like that's going to be the course that it takes, because the devs seem to be very active and open to feedback and engaging with it, which is very exciting and a nice fresh thing to see for sure. But that said, that's going to wrap things up. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like on it. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.